During this tutorial, we will create a tie-dye colored butterfly keychain. This project can be completed with either the Cricut Maker or the Cricut Explorer Air 2. For this project, you will need a light grip Cricut mat, permanent adhesive vinyl, pre-sanded shrink plastic, washi tape, Cricut deep cut blade, chalk pastels, keychain hardware, and an oven to bake the shrink plastic. Begin with a butterfly cut file of your choice. An SVG file would work best. First, we need to create a butterfly base of the keychain by creating an outline of the butterfly. Start by duplicating the layer. Use the contour tool to hide all contours and change the color to a contrasting color to make it easier to see. Duplicate the base layer 3 more times. Next, select all and use the Align tool to center all layers together. Select the butterfly top layer and arrange to the front. We will use the 4 base layers to create the outline. Select one layer and hit the right arrow key once. Select a different base layer and hit the left arrow key once. Repeat with the remaining base layers for top and bottom. Select the butterfly top layer and hide. Next, select all the base layers and weld together. Use the Arrange tool to send the base layer to the back. Unhide the butterfly top layer. Now we have an outline of the butterfly. Don't worry about the antenna section, we will address that area next. Let's move on to the keychain attachment area. Select Shapes and Circle, resize to 1.5 inches and change the color so it contrasts with the butterfly base. Position the circle over the center butterfly antenna area and send to back. Select both the circle and the butterfly layers, then use the Align tool to center horizontally. Next, we will add the keychain hole. Select Shapes and Circle, resize to 0.25, and change the color so the shape contrasts with the other layers. Position the keychain hole cutout circle over to the upper center area where you want the hole to be. Select both the keychain hole cutout circles, use the Align tool to center horizontally. Now we need to weld together the base outline shape. Select the butterfly top layer and the small keychain hole cutout and hide both layers. Select all and weld the remaining shapes together. Go ahead and send the base layer to back with the Arrange tool. In the Layers menu, select the butterfly top layer and the small keychain hole cutout and make both layers visible again. Let's resize our design by selecting all and group together. If you resize to 5.5 inches, you will be able to fit 2 butterfly shapes on the shrink plastic sheet. Shrink plastic shrinks to less than half the original size, so we will oversize our design. To prepare the shape for sending to the Cricut, ungroup the shapes and hide the butterfly top layer, then select all and attach. We will be starting out by cutting the base only at this point. When ready to cut the shape, select Make It to send to the Cricut. Load a sheet of shrink plastic onto the light grip Cricut mat. Use washi tape around the top and sides to secure the plastic. At the Prepare Mat screen, change the project copies to 2 if you'd like to utilize the entire shrink plastic sheet. 1 butterfly for you and 1 for a friend. Reposition the design on the mat as needed to avoid the washi tape. At the Make screen, browse all materials and search for acetate. Select acetate and change the pressure to more. The acetate selection will perform 2 cut passes. In the Cricut, load the deep cut blade into clamp B in place of the fine point blade. You may be wondering if the fine point blade would work as well as the deep cut blade. The fine point blade will cut shrink plastic. To use the fine point blade, try the poster board setting and more pressure. Once the Cricut is finished cutting, bend the mat to pop off the piece. The piece is ready for color. With the rough side of the shrink plastic up and the shiny side down, use chalk pastels to randomly add color. Focus the color on the inside areas of the shape. No need to add color to the top keychain attachment area, as that is the area for the antennas. To blend the colors, grab a cosmetic cotton round. Use the cotton round to move the pigment around and push toward the outside edges. Brush off excess chalk dust. Use a clean cotton round to blend colors together. The color pigment looks very light but will become more intense after shrinking. Be sure to remove the keychain hole before baking. Grab a baking sheet and a Teflon sheet or parchment paper. Place the shrink plastic design on top with a rough side up. Bake the shrink plastic according to the package instructions. After baking, the butterfly design is ready for a top coat to seal the chalk pigments in place. Grab Mod Podge or Diamond Glaze to use as a top coat. Secure the piece in place with a little masking tape. This will make it easier to apply glaze. Use a brush to fan out the glaze, moving the brush strokes from the center to the outside edge going around the shape. Fanning the brush strokes outward will add a realistic butterfly wing effect to the piece because the brush strokes are visible once dried. To complete our project, we need to add the butterfly top layer. First, measure the final size of the butterfly shape now that it has been baked. With the measurements ready, head back to Design Space to resize and cut the top layer of vinyl. Check to make sure the butterfly top layer is visible. Select all and resize the whole project to the size of the baked shrink plastic butterfly base. Next, hide the bottom base layer to prepare to cut the top butterfly layer only. When ready to cut the shape, select Make It to send to the Cricut. At the Prepare Matte screen, adjust the shape if needed. At the Select Materials screen, select the type of vinyl you are using. I selected Premium Vinyl to cut Oracle 651. Be sure to switch out the deep cut blade for the fine point blade to cut vinyl. With the vinyl cut complete, weed out the inside cuts of the butterfly, leaving only the outline. Use transfer tape to get the vinyl ready to apply. Secure the butterfly base with masking tape to keep it from moving around when adding the vinyl. Carefully apply the vinyl over the butterfly base, smooth down the vinyl, and remove the transfer tape. Add keychain hardware and enjoy.